Welcome to Sri and Kira Live. As our world spins seemingly out of control, we are all experiencing time speeding up, chaos shifting to a new level, and a yearning to know the greater mysteries of the universe. What does it all mean? Visionary spiritual teachers and best-selling authors Sri Ram Ka and Kira Ra explore these mysteries, offer live soul readings, and invite you to open up your mind, body, and spirit to the paradigms that are shifting. Bringing you fresh perspectives and timeless wisdom, here are Sri and Kira.
Namaste and welcome to the Voice of Passionate Action. I am Wisdom Teacher Sri Ram Ka.
And actually unable to see you, I am Master Lady Kira. We're going to move our whole studio up. Give us 1 second, guys. Sri, I'm going to ask you to move that up. All right. We're going to say thank you, Mercury retrograde, for that moment. And welcome you to an amazing, amazing, amazing week in June. So, Sri, why don't we first share with them where we are?
Well, okay.
Where are
Take
we?
a look at the background here. We are pleased to be able to be broadcasting to you from the Crystalline Atlantean Healing Room at Tosa Blue Mountain. And this particular healing room is a fantastic embrace of pure energy. The walls are made from stones and mud of the earth, and the graphics on the walls reflect the ascended chakra system and all kinds of tones and energies, and just so much here that helps us remember that we are indeed energy beings. We are indeed beings of essence, having a beautiful human experience. And so from the Crystalline Atlantean Healing Chamber Room at Tosa Blue Mountain, we offer you a welcome. May you breathe in the energy of this sacred space and find that you too are nourished through your attention.
In every single way. And, you know, guys, we also want to say, this is such a big moment in June, and welcome, 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 everyone. Welcome all of you that are out there at YouTube, all of you that are out there at any of the Facebooks that are going in that sine wave. We are so grateful that you are all here right now. And as we are in our healing room, as Sri mentioned, this is the Crystalline Chamber Room, our mud walls. We always, Sri had to go to a lot of work to get us to have this broadcast out of here. I just thought that while Sri was sharing, let's come together in the essence of our oneness, right? Let's come together in the essence of the energy of the heart outside of the paradigms. And so while Sri was sharing, I went, for those of you that have come here, you've often seen me work with this, and you see right above us here are our crystal bells where we work with your soul song and offer that to you. But I wanted to share with you, this is my personal chalice that I work with. I don't know if you can see my beautiful green Tara on it or not. My beloved Sri had this made for me. It's 24 karat gold over a hollow chalice. And so let's just take a moment, bring our hands to our heart, because this is a big week.
Yes.
This is a huge week. There is a momentum that is already at play. There are 5 planets, eternal life, including one of those is Mercury, that are currently in alignment at the dawn of our new life every single moment of June. So let's breathe in that gift. And I'm going to ask you all to bring your hands to your heart. Let's all bring our hands to our heart. Yeah. Really breathe. And I pray that you're going to get the tone well enough, but if not, at least please receive the love and the energy. Breathing in, Ave, Sa. June is the month of unconditional love. June is the month of unconditional love. May we carry that harmonic, because we're going to show you the calendar in just a moment, but the June up level is all about the second harmonic rising as unconditional love. AS, as unconditional love. It is a call for all of us. And today we have so much to share. But in this moment, you're pretty much getting the whole month. Yeah. Let's breathe that in. Welcome to June.
Welcome to June. You know, so often we talk about love. We talk about the energy of love versus fear. But in fact, one of the insights that's so important to bring into your discernment is that love and peace must coexist.
Right.
Without peace, there can be no non-reactivity, meaning unconditional love can't exist without peace. When peace is present, and when we breathe in and relax into our ascended heart, the peace energy creates a foundation for the love to expand.
Very much so. And so, you know, Shri, let's show them. Let's pop up that June calendar right now. And I want you to really, as Shri brings this up, go, there it is, go into the art. Give yourself this moment right now and just go into the art. Ignore the numbers if you can. Allow your eyes to relax and specifically look at the week that we just closed. All of those new alchemies are pouring in. That Mercury retrograde completed. However, Mercury said, you know, I'm really not done with you yet because now I'm going to shepherd in this 5-planet alignment that is occurring at dawn throughout this month, reminding us that it's virtually like a homing beacon saying, hey, you know, when do you really want to do this? Because you're in a month of the awareness of the May choice. The awareness of the May choice. And so gaze at those alchemies and look at the week ahead of us. The week ahead of us is about bringing all of those alchemies in. In other words, bringing them to form, this is the moment. It's all coming together. It's all coming into form. And this is another reason why, as you're gazing at this calendar, notice how we're building to World Unity Week. I want you to go look at the 18th because that's the day that World Unity Week, and you know, Shri, we can stop the share on that. As I'm sharing about the 18th, you see right there, that's when that Mercury post phase completes. So of course, that's the day that this energy can arise. But remember, guys, it's not all roses this month. This is that experience where, Shri, I gave you a graphic earlier. I want to put this up for you right now. We're going to be referring to this a lot because Shri and I have so much to share around this with you. And remember, prayerfully, you're already putting your questions into the into the chat at the YouTube. Remember, if you're at YouTube official stream here, you could be putting your questions in there, and Just Junton and we'll be getting them to us. And you know that we always weave your voice into every show. This is what's happening, and this is why Shri cut from the calendar. June is unconditional love. It's the second harmonic wave. The second harmonic wave is what? It is unconditional love. However, it is unconditional love expressing as the second chakra. It is unconditional love expressing as the second chakra. And that is so incredibly important because it's offering balance for all of creation. And there's a lot more we're going to talk about later about this. But Shri is like, I've got to jump in. I'm like, jump in, Shri.
All right.
Yeah.
You know, it's really important to recognize that as energy beings, we get hypnotized by our physical form, our emotions, and the various belief systems and all of that. And all that's fun and fine. However, when we begin to awaken to the truth that there is an energy animating this body, animating our beliefs, and we begin to get behind the camera a little bit and have the totality of our consciousness, that's when we recognize these various flows. And this is what we're here to share with you to help activate the fullness of your consciousness. Now, the second chakra in the traditional chakra system is about sexuality. And, you know, right down there at the navel.
So we're starting right at, like, in density consciousness, what you're taught, you know, this is the traditional.
And that traditional chakra, the first chakra is about your safety, and the second chakra is about intimacy, and it governs the
safety, sex, power, 1, 2, 3.
Right. But as the world has been lifting into the new paradigm, and CNN is not covering it.
I guess that's funny.
As we are lifting into the new paradigm. The ascended frequencies are here and now. And for a lot of people, they create what we refer to as ascension symptoms. But here's the piece I want to deliver at this moment, that your second chakra is the chakra of balance. It is the chakra of holding your vision and allowing the physicality to manifest the vision.
Now, as Shree's sharing that, I want you to put up the AM while you keep listening to Shree. I can't see, and it's too far away from me. All right, keep going. So look at the body as Shree is sharing, because you're saying, wait a minute, how can that be that chakra? Right?
Right. So the number 6 in the ascended numerology brings you to that second chakra of form, but it is in the ascended expression. So remember, in the density expression, we were talking about sexuality. In the ascended expression, we are talking about the balance between your spiritual nature and your physical nature, birthing your vision. And the vision is your highest reason you took birth, your highest service. And so those energies, every chakra has its ascended truth. And so we're in June. We're in a month of incredible opportunity.
Well, and Shree, let's go back live again and show them. Remember that second chakra, this energy of unconditional love. And are we able to see? We are. Perfect. So I just want to make sure we can see the Divine Galactic Blueprint. There it is. Okay. So these are yours. Remember, this is the Divine Galactic Blueprint. These are your ascended chakras. You know what? We're not mirrored, so I'm all messed up. Forgive me, guys. And this is your self-ascended chakras, which is what Shree was just talking about. So here would be your first chakra, first, second, third, and that energy of balance and creation right now in June is all over humanity. But let us not forget that the second chakra of the body in the world of this beautiful moment of experience is also the corollary of the second chakra of your ascended presence, which is your throat, right? The 12-pointed ascended chakra system lifts us up into that cross of perfect balance. And the gift is that humanity's at that moment. And I'm sorry, Shree and I keep walking around. It's best we can do in our little place here. But as Shree was sharing, and as I was offering that graphic, as you bring your hands to your heart right now, unconditional love is the action of all of us saying yes to humanity together. It is the action that this moment where all those new alchemies are actually weaving. It is that moment where the concepts and the energies of the indigenous are actually able to find this phenomenal blessing of presence through you in anything we do, in anything. So Shree and I are very, very excited that in the sharing of the momentum of the unconditional love of June, in all of the intersections that are happening, as you gaze at this month, and it's one of these months where it's like, get out your calendar right now and mark down these dates, right? Because that's what's happening. And we've got a lot of dates to share with you, including next week's show, which is Global Minga in Action, where we are going to have, of course, Chief Phil back again. Many of you know Chief Phil. We are also going to have our beloved Darwin, who is a chief of another group of indigenous beings that his program is now part of our Global Minga experience. And so this is all happening along with things that happened in real time this past week, that because you are the Minga, because when we get together, we are that service. We just want to share with you. So should we roll that little film right now?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Because this is what June is about.
And for those of you who are going, Minga, what's the Minga?
Minga, M-I-N-G-A.
M-I-N-G-A.
You'll learn. It's in the movie.
It's in the movie.
It's in the movie.
Let's say no more.
All right, enjoy. We'll be right back.
Here you are.
It's like 2 minutes, guys.
Here it is.
It's the Minga movie. All right.
Sri and I arrived here earlier. We're going to show you some of the video of that in just a moment. But we want to celebrate and say thank you. It is because of your generosity that this beautiful woman, who's in tears as we are here, all of the volunteers are here, the foundation is built. We're excited to show you what's going on.
You know, it's a fabulous community effort as we're able to provide them with the materials to build her house. The fire department, the neighbors, everyone has come to offload the truck, to dig the holes, to put in the cement footings, and to give her a good foundation for her future. We are happy that you have chosen to participate in this celebration of love and community support.
So here's your word for the day, Minga. M-I-N-G-A. What is Minga? Minga is a thousands-year-old indigenous tradition where when someone in the community needs something, everyone volunteers to help get it done. Your kind donations help be part of that Minga. If you are here in person, you can help build, you can help grow, you can help share. We are together creating a worldwide Minga. And this Minga is beginning with your heart, connecting with our heart, connecting with their hearts. Come join us and let us show you what your heart is doing in real time. Mommy, I can't stop calling her mommy because she carries pure light. That if there's anything we could do to help make her life more comfortable, does she need anything more else? And I'm really thinking she's going to tell me material things. And the first words out of her mouth were, please help me have a bathroom. I don't have one. And so thank you all for remember why we're doing this. Yes. Yes, thank you. We are so grateful. I just want to let all of you know that everything we can do, you know, we've just begun. We're getting her house. How can we help them more? How can we help them continue? Because this is what they're living in. And I'm peeking in. I don't want you to see what's in there because you're not going to get over it because I'm barely getting over it. And it's her right to privacy. But let's be really grateful. Every dollar you give to this foundation comes right here. Help us help more. Help us help more. We're grateful. We love you.
I'm always emotional, forgive me guys, but that was last week, and so you want to share more, Sri?
Yeah. This is one of two separate projects that we've already begun, thanks to the generosity of this community.
This is the Global Minga.
And that we are supporting people who do not have proper housing, do not have safe and secure places to live, to have homes, real homes, made of proper materials with a bathroom and a bedroom, and so they can continue to serve their communities as they have. Each of these beings is indeed a vital member of a community, and we are here saying we too are part of your community because this is a global Minga.
So we wanted to share that thank you because Maria's home is being built. There is a longer video available if you'd like to watch it. Jess can put in the comments in the chat everywhere where it is. It's probably over at SriandKara.com as well because miracles are happening. And the greatest gift of all is that miracles are not only your birthright, they are the energy of the action of the passion of your inspiration. Now, I want you to just take a moment and breathe that in because we're going to go back to that graphic. Sri, can you put that graphic back up, please?
Yeah, hang on.
I'd be grateful. And at some point, we're going to try and mirror our video for me, guys. I'm sorry, I'm feeling a little off balance today because it's challenging for me. So let's go. There we are. So we're back at that graphic. And up at the top, you see the words birth, reunion, freedom. Now, earlier I was sharing with you, we're in this beautiful 5 planetary alignment right now, of which Mercury is one of them. And so that Mercury retrograde, that beautiful gift, this has been a profound Mercury experience. You see the words behind there? You have that birth, death, reunion, separation, freedom, entrapment. And then your arms are open as your throat becomes the 7th dimensional witnessing of your third chakra, which is now your point of true, beautiful joy, the joy that expresses, and that second chakra is offering balance for all. This unconditional love moment that humanity is in right now, that you are experiencing right now, is a gift that will carry all humanity forward through a month that is not yet written. And this is why, when we mentioned earlier, get your pencil out, okay? Next Sunday, the 12th, you've got to be right here. Then that Saturday, the 18th, you must be at the opening of World Unity Week. It's just got to happen. Be there. Tell everybody you know. What's going to happen that day is not only what is on the quote agenda. It's about what happens when we come together in sincerity, love, and presence, the true blessing of miracles.
A lot of groups are coming together on that
A lot.
day.
And so 18th, you want to put that on your calendar. 19th, this show, same time, Shri and I will be broadcasting as part of World Unity Week live from the Yucatan Peninsula, where we will begin our broadcast journey with you with Sign as part of World Unity Week. We are so grateful to be ambassadors and to be carrying this energy into the heart of the Yucatan and to be reigniting. We already have miracles that are coming forward, including, not going to say how and why, we received an email of a crystal skull that has been hidden from the planet for 6 years that is being made available for Shri and I to not only interact with, but they believe we are the custodians of. We did not even know this crystal skull existed. It has been hidden inside the Mayan. This is our big drop for today because you're the first people to hear this publicly.
So
we're not giving you any other details other than this is real, guys. And those of you that are joining us on that trip, wow, right?
So the law of instantaneous manifestation is really foundationalized that when you act from the essence of your soul without a need to control, to simply be on your mission, that which is required will show up.
And in ways like imagine when Shri's reading me this, he's like, Kira, I just got this WhatsApp from someone we love and adore who said, okay, this beautiful Mayan, and it's a female who's in custodianship of it. This beautiful Mayan female has been in custodianship of this sacred skull, and it's a crystal skull, and she's just like not even knowing what to do with it. Just she was like holding it and feels that, and like I can't say anything more because I'm choking up, guys. I really can't talk about it more other than hold us, because you see, this is June. It's that unconditional love. It's that saying, Shri and I in May, and I know you guys did too, right? I bet a lot of you did. Put it in the chat. May was challenging. Early June was challenging because people we trusted really revealed that it was like, remember what density will throw at you. And so it was such a beautiful gift of presence and such a great moment of preparing for the unconditional love and living the energy of love them. They know not what they do, because it's the truth. It really is. And that is not with any form of judgment. That is within the absolute presence and awareness and recognition that within this field of potentiality, all have the right to be.
Yes.
Thereby, to illuminate that experience from within is to live the divine galactic blueprint. It is to have transcended and stabilized your chakras first into the self-ascended state of harmonious infinite presence, letting go of the paradigm that they must be orbs. That's what a Vesa does. And then stabilizing that so that the heart right there becomes right there. That's that same heart. That one becomes the foundation of your ascended presence. However, it is the heart that is not emotional. It is the heart that is not self-centered. It is the universal heart of the double beautiful infinite presence spinning that ignites I am here as the sea of neutrality, thereby sustaining the firm foundation to move up into the seventh dimensional presence. And Shri, it brings me to kind of a little surprise. So we're getting a lot of your texts in, so we can stop right now. Let's hold my surprise. I'm holding the surprise.
Jeez.
I'm holding the surprise because I see a full phone And we want to talk to you guys. So there's a surprise coming, not in addition to your comments, which are always a surprise for us. These are not filtered. Jess just sends them to us. All right.
Okay, here
And we
we go.
read them as we get them. All right.
Okay, so Pauline writes, June 2nd, rising of unconditional love.
Woo, indeed. And that
Okay.
was so true. That June 2nd was very powerful. Indeed.
And Baldevi writes, Sri Krishna even said so. How can there be happiness without peace?
Hare. And the one thing I do want to share with you on that is read that again. How can there be
happiness without peace?
How can there be happiness without peace? Archangel Zodkiel 101 was one of the first. If you've read our book, Sacred Union, The Journey Home, if you haven't, how come? It's still available. Go get it. First thing Archangel Zodkiel said was, the first chakra must, this one right there, that's the whole basis that ignites the whole Merkaba of self-ascension. The first chakra must stabilize as the chakra of peace,
Yes.
or the ascension. Because self-ascension is knowing that you don't have to shed this body. You can actually do this in conscious awakened form right now. And so to do that, we must arise. And so peace is where it begins, because from peace, you will find love, the transition of that second chakra. And what are we looking at on the planet right now? It's a tug for love, right? It's love tug. And that's why this is an unconditional love month and power filled, right? But without that peace first as the foundation, thereby allowing that love that cannot be ever disturbed by the emotional body, then your third chakra releases a need for power and domination and becomes the radiance of joy. That is when the heart ignites as the cross of perfect balance, as the union of the double infinite, sustaining your truth to open, so that you may, it's basically like a click, click, click. And so thank you for sharing that. And of course, anytime I get an opportunity to talk about anything from the Gita or closely related, I will take it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Angel.
And we got lots of beautiful, loving greetings.
Yeah, well, Jazz says, let me just read a few of them.
Yes.
He was skipping some of them. I want to read them for you guys. Jazz was saying, hi, loves. What a fantastic vibration indeed. Another one, kindness and love. So beautiful here. I am grateful for this community, Minga. Another one, namaste, beloved Master Sri and Kira from Valencia. This is from Morning Sunbeam. Hey, Valencia, we love Spain. All right. Sri, I'll let you take over.
Okay, Rachel writes, namaste day. Waves of peace, love, and joy.
Hey, let's give a shout out to Sine Wave on that one.
Yeah.
Woohoo! Hey, John. Hey, Summer.
And Marianne writes, greetings and love to all soul family.
Yeah.
Carrie Ann shares, looking forward to seeing how the Pyramid of Peace is coming along. So cool to be able to see the progress of it being built.
Thank you. And we have an update.
And Baldevi asks a question. Can you suggest a self-ascension practice to support processing the loss of a friend or loved one?
Yes.
Just was rejected painfully last night by a good friend, and I need support for release, please.
So, Baldevi, first and foremost, thank you for saying yes to being here today. That's the first practice, is you're saying yes to you. You know, you made a choice. You could have stayed in bed. You could have been upset. You could have been angry. But instead, the first practice was you said yes to you. You woke up this morning and said, I am here, right? I am here. So that's the first practice. And I think the second practice is right found in our app, which I believe you have our app, Spiritual Mastery of Sri and Kira. And this is part of the free. So, I mean, download the app and get it up. But it's the Om breath practice that Sri teaches. I think is very profound, because when we adapt that breath practice, especially in combination with Ave Sa, we immediately transform and sustain. So that's the first thing that we would invite you to. And Sri, what else would you like to share?
Well, you know, there is a moment in the process of letting go, and grieving is a letting go process. And grieving is a springboard to anchoring your ascended consciousness. Everything that happens here in form is a stimulation to lift into a more expanded state. Everything. And loss is no exception. So I invite you to consider coming to your heart, doing those practices, and simply saying, that I recognize that the one who criticized me is doing the best they know how, given their state of consciousness at this time. Another way to say that is they're doing the best they know how, given the stress they are experiencing, which affects their consciousness. And then to follow that up, taking a breath with simply, I now forgive and release the universe for calling whoever it was the transition, for calling them home. And I trust that all is well. When we anchor those positive affirmations of trust, when we recognize that everybody on the planet is doing the best they know how, given their state of consciousness, we begin to move into that peaceful ascended state. Doesn't mean we don't take action to assist the world. It means we are at peace with what is.
Exactly. From there, right? Peace, Archangel Zodkiel, that's your foundation. All right, let's keep going.
All right, more sharings
We've got
here.
Rebecca. So lovely. Namaste, everyone. We've got someone going, yay, Minga. And okay, here's my little thing, guys. So I want you to, you know that old little kids thing, you know, there was a farmer that had a dog and Bingo was his name. Oh, okay. So what about this, right? Just, you know, let's have some fun with this, and you guys help me along, and somebody do something better than this. But Sri and I have been playing, and we're just having so much fun. So how about something like, you know, there was a planet that had a dream, and Minga was its name, M-I-N-G-A-N. Oh no, hey, it's feminino. See? That's the thing. These men are still trying it. So Minga itself is even a feminine experience of life, and that's what is so amazing. And so, wow, I'm excited.
Yeah,
M-I-N-G-A.
Minga is such a time-honored indigenous tradition of the community coming together with an intention to serve. That's just such a
We
beautiful.
come together because it's just the right thing to do. So yeah, Minga. Oh, we got so many more. And feeling the peace from the healing room. Thank you. We like our mud walls too. Sri and I literally live in a little apartment above here. So we have to be careful if we have somebody in here, we can't walk in our closet because they can hear us.
And let's see, Carrie Ann shares.
The crystal skull, yeah.
It says this is significant, hugely significant according to the prophecies.
You know, we have had 4 different traditions come to Sri and I, and somehow Sri and I are like, I don't know if we're a cog in holding the 4 together or what, but yeah. Are you feeling your feet and your hands right now? I mean, June is really important, everyone. But I want you to look ahead, because we're just beginning. Remember that when World Unity Week kicks off on June 18, when we go through that process together, when we start building this energy, we move into those 99 days. And when you take that 9 plus the 9, what do you get? You get the 18, which is the 9 again. This is just staring at us. And the Pyramid of Peace, I'm going to divert right to the Pyramid Project and let Sri talk to you about what he's done for the water. You're going to blow your mind what's going on. So what's happening is that on September 22nd, and we will be here all week long. There are going to be events all week long. All of the elders will be here earlier. They will all be here by the 18th on site at Tosa Blue Mountain. And then this caravan is going to go from Tosa Blue Mountain and finish and complete at Lake Titicaca. This is big, guys. And so at Tosa Blue Mountain, that pyramid, the first Pyramid of Peace, will have the first gathering of as many tribal elders as can say yes to be here. And we all know that these next 99 days matter. Remember that humanity, we're all floating right now. We've built this pyramid, right? And if you don't know what I'm talking about, just go watch some of our past shows. And so we've got this pyramid and we're all filling it right now until it stabilizes. And it will not stabilize. This is, you know, moving forward. June is when we just hit the middle and at least build ourselves enough of an island that a few of us can get up and take a break for a while we're still working on getting this baby sealed. Because we are not stable. We will not be stable until the September 22 culmination. This is just such a powerful moment. And so does your breath my breath gets a little like, wow, you know, because I'm excited. This is so awesome. It's really about where your steadfast commitment, focused awareness, and complete trust lie. So it's really exciting. And I still have a surprise. I can't see. Do we have? Oh, good. We have plenty of time. We're going to you. We're going back to you guys.
Okay, let's finish up here.
All right, because I want to talk about my surprise.
Question from Laura. She says, you talked about a 5 for 12 moment for humanity. How should I see this information? For example, is this also related to a doomsday law?
Okay, so numero uno, Bienvenido a Shri and Kira, which means welcome to Shri and Kira. Primero, number one, Shri and I absolutely are here. I am the living model of an ascended presence within a body of form with conscious awareness, as you all are capable of being in full integration. The ecstatic dance that we are all here for right now is because, yes, we are at a moment of transition of humanity. And the first thing I encourage you to do is read every one of our books, because this is not a doomsday scenario unless you want it to be, even using that word. So Shri and I really refrain from utilizing anything that would continue to create that which was, even having walked away very recently from another major book movie deal because the greed was too intense and the lack of ethics too obvious. And so what do you want to create? What do you want to create? The gift of being here, and I'm so glad you're here. The reason we are a global Minga, the reason we're waving, and I love that because I love the water, right? The reason we're surfing the planet right now is because this planet matters. This experience of potentiality, remember, this is all illusionary. However, as your consciousness lifts, and it brings me, Shri, I've got to stop, all right? I've got to stop because this is something I want to share with all of you. So as your consciousness lifts, what you have witnessed in Shri and I is going to kind of tie into our surprise, because I can't hold the surprise anymore. We'll come back to you guys. Keep sending in your questions, all right? I need my husband's attention. He's way too into the questions. So as humanity is lifting, right? We're all lifting. That's why spiritual arrogance has been this new, 15 years ago, Shri and I never wrote about it, never talked about it. It wasn't even available. And the blessing of coming out of our literal cave is noticing that within the pyramid of spiritual awakening, within the collapse of that fourth dimensional frequency that is thereby energized the spiritualized ego, this spiritualized arrogance has become a glue. And because it is so attractive, and because it is so greedily very profitable, it is what is in front of you. And the gift of that, I just want you to hear the gift of that, because Shri and I have been surfing this now. I've been surfing it for 2 years, trying to bring these moments together while Shri's been on his 2-year mission as well. And we're going to get to my surprise with that in a minute. But it brings me to something that Shri and I have been sharing for a while. And Shri, I'm going to want you to jump in. Yesterday, somebody brought to my attention that there was a Harvard scientist right now being lauded because he's 50 years old and he has the physical whatever of a 42-year-old. And an incredible article that I love, and he is amazing, and somebody get in front of this person, because everything he's doing chemically or genetically modified. And the one thing, as I really gazed at this, which is why the person sent this article to me, which they did find at CNN a couple days ago, so go look it up, because I need to meet this person, is that nowhere are they considering consciousness. And so as we were looking at this and we were paying attention to this, what really, really came forward, especially since we were going to be with all of you today, and Shri, we need to see that graphic one more time. Okay. In the energy of what's happening in June, is that for many years we have published and talked about that the physical body that you carry right now, this body, absolutely was engineered to sustain a 300-year lifespan. And that not only was that absolutely, yes, that is that which you are as I am, that you could reverse age and basically learn through the power of consciousness applied through this physical form with the awareness of that which I am, that you absolutely can change that. And Shri and I actually learned how to do that through when we were in our divine devotion with Saint Germain and the complete original I Am series. So in this moment right now of birth and death, reunion, separation, freedom, entrapment, it is unconditional love. It is unconditional love when you can weave in all that is expressing as the second chakra. And that is looking at that second chakra in both the body, which is the creation, and the ascended presence, which is the truth of that which I am, igniting your heart, basically taking a leap for humanity to bring that ascended heart, and as you can see over here, out of the fifth dimension and literally lift it higher. And that's Minga. That's us saying yes to the planet, because it's not about anything other than each being whatever you're here to do.
Yes.
All deserve to be, because they are here through the co-creation of that which I am. So I want you to breathe that in, and I want Sri to share whatever he may want to, and then my surprise is coming.
Well, I just wanted to pick up a little bit on what the
Please.
scientist is bringing forward, was just raising awareness that aging is not a predetermined thing.
Nope.
There is a limiting belief system on what it means to age, and that is part and parcel of why the external proof of that limiting belief exists, because of the power of consciousness to align with, buy in, and manifest limiting beliefs. And so somebody has said once, aging is more a state of a mind than a state of body. Well, there's some truth in that.
That's where you begin.
That's
absolutely
the starting
where
point.
you begin.
Yeah. When we begin to trust the universe and trust our own divine nature, we will have the vitality required to live in the fullness of the joy of awakened consciousness.
For as long as it serves. And that is the magic button. For as long as it serves. So breathe that in, and I want to share with you that in 2002, I was invited to go on an incredible adventure with this gentleman right here. And I got an email, and I still have the delivery from the flowers, from the original flowers he sent me. I've actually shown those of you that have come. I'm like, there it is. And in the essence of what this Harvard scientist is doing, it really inspired us to do something we have not done before, which is to really share with you our journey kind of very concisely. It's in a 2-minute little kind of like journey here that you're going to see, that Sri and I have just been the model of when we got together, and please read our book, Sacred Union, The Journey Home, please read it. When we got together, and that's that book, we had no idea what we were saying yes to, and thank God, because I'm sure I would have said no. If I would have known that both of my children would be gone, that so many other things would have happened, I don't know that I could have done it. You know, what my husband has gone through in his own experience, now our bodies, and everything that we are. And so we're sharing this next 2 minutes with you for you to really just watch it yourself, because we have arrived at a moment and are only on the planet because of this global Minga community. We are here to model it. Sri and I will just keep doing the work, no matter who slings whatever arrows or whatever they want to do. What we know is for every arrow that comes our way, that means there's a light that's shining brighter. Because that's how it works in this sea of polarity. This isn't our first rodeo. And so here we are, guys. Why not do it with a smile and say yes rather than no? Every second you fixate on that which could be worse, you're taking away from that which you could be creating better. And so this next 2 minutes is the reason that I came really running down and have no makeup on.
And busy, and I haven't seen this yet.
That's what I'm saying. And so both Sri and Jess, hey Jess, nobody has seen this yet. Pretty much not me either. I hit go and then ran. So
all right, we're going to share.
Anyway, for all of you, happy June. My husband's amazing birthday is next month. And for your consideration, do you see what's happened? Because of you. We'll be back in a minute 50.
I'm looking for it. Oh, here it is. Here it is.
There it
You
is.
ready?
All
Okay, take a breath. You know, it's just, thank you, my love. Thank you for honoring us and sharing our lives and celebrating what a wild, wonderful journey.
You know, I want to share that it was really hard because, you know, those of you that have been around a while know that there's so much more, but we are very aware that there has been a transformation in our physical form, in our lives, that ever since we came to Tosa Blue Mountain, things have been happening. And as that video showed at the very end, the Pyramid of Peace. And so what we wanted to share with you today was things that we've already kind of been dropping hints of, is that after having had the blessing of really living the Yoga of Self-Ascension for 20 years, 20 plus years now, what we are so grateful for, I was reflecting on how many of you I've watched grow up. Some of you I met when you were 16 years old. I remember some of you in Avesa when you were, 10, 11, because you came with your mothers and you're still here and your babies are here. And so many of you I've watched your children grow up and now they're here. That is what the Yoga of Self-Ascension is about, is that together we are better, and one at a time, we are able to accomplish miracles because we say yes to the miracle of I am. I am here is the greatest gift you can ever offer. And to not let density steal that from you.
Yes.
And as Archangel Zadkiel would always say, density and the ego are a sly pirate that will do everything fair or unfair to steal your joy. And remember, joy is the third chakra. So when your power erodes, right, then everything else erodes. And look at that implosion of a spiral. We are always in the eternal spiral. The question is, are you in a lateral spiral? Are you in an upward spiral? Or are you in a more downward spiral? All of them are irrelevant because you're going to always experience all. It's when you become consciously aware in this potentiality that we have an opportunity to affect the shift of consciousness itself.
Yes.
This is where Einstein was so spot on. I just want to bring him in and go, please listen to this man, right? We're right here. And so what's really happening is we're all everyone has to go through those borderlands of sanity. And that's what that little film I was trying to share is. My husband and I have been dancing in the borderlands of sanity for 20 years. And, we said yes to crazy stuff like this. And then a beautiful artist, Eliam, shows up from Hawaii out of the blue, puts this into form, hands it to us, leaves, right? I mean, it's those kind of miracles.
Yeah.
And it's been that way for 20 years because we have always said yes, even when we had no idea how it was going to happen, like the Pyramid of Peace. So I want to turn it over to you, Sri.
Yeah. Well, I want to honor you for creating that video. Thank you, my love.
I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. That took a while.
Well, yeah.
And some of that film's really old, as you can tell.
Yeah, each one of those snapshots, of course, has an impact because we have the full memory of the event. However, the piece that I hope that you all could appreciate is that we began our journey and have committed and stayed on the path.
No matter what's been thrown at us, and those of you that know us know a lot. Because the universe is going to say, hey, are you ready?
Yeah. And it's important to recognize that when you're on a spiritual path, and we all are, the question is whether you're awake to it or not.
Right. What are you awake to? That's your journey.
That is your journey. And that your level of attainment, meaning the recognitions that you have in consciousness, actually are your veil. Your level of attainment is your veil. And because some ego-based individuals don't recognize that, they think they got it, and they become quite arrogant with their beliefs and the rest of it. And the key here is everyone goes down and reaches a stopping point, and then either keeps going, you go around and expand, or you are stationary. The thing that I want to offer is that saying yes, and to keep saying yes to the unknown expansion,
embrace it.
Not only allows you to keep lifting, that you don't run into the limitation of the level of consciousness because it just keeps expanding, but we also grow accustomed to ever greater trust. And when we trust in the universe, when we trust spirit, when we trust in our divine nature, only good can evolve from that.
Ooh, breathe that in.
Because that is your nature.
Yeah.
You're made of the stuff of that goodness. You are love incarnate. And as we relax into that alignment, we become the authentic visible representation of that divine expression.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I just want to breathe that in with you, and really you are staring at 20 years of steadfast commitment, focused awareness, and complete
I
trust.
trust you've observed a change in the physical
And that's why we're
bodies.
saying, this was really for you look, we're out there, we're documented. Go to this YouTube channel, probably has videos from 2004. All right. And by the way, it was Faith Rivera who first wrote Sri and I and said, why aren't you on YouTube? And it was actually Faith who got us going on. So we love you, Faith. All right. So I want to read some of these, and there's probably more. I don't know how to do this is the way Sri does. Let me see. Okay, here we go. I think this was about our videos. So let me go right here. We are so grateful you are here and for everything you do for the all. Love you, Sri and Kira. That's from Leslie. We love you too, sweetheart. Rachel is saying, yes, awesome. Dana is saying, I love this. Wow. Solike is going, whoa, 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 lots of wavy emojis and the big yummy hearts. Ball Debbie, that was beautiful. Thank you for sharing. Angel, thank you for the gift to the world. Thank you so much. Astaria, miracles are our birthright. Yes, they are. Linda, so heartfelt with lots of all the full color hearts. Morning Sunbeam, wonderful, amazing life journey. Sri and Kira are true inspiration to humanity. Thank you, Angel. Thank you. And that's the thing you need to know. Just like we're now custodians of like all these thousands of acres of property in so many countries. We didn't set out to do this. We just kept saying yes to what we knew served the greater purpose and no to what we knew would have only served Sri and I. And that's really the only thing you're seeing is authenticity. When our first book came out, still in print, and goodness knows it needs another revision and update, the first thing that we said was that we will go and do whatever we're shared to do. All right, here's another one. Solike says, the smiles are so beautiful. That's what I noticed throughout our journey. Joy follows joy, magnetizes joy. Yes, indeed.
Joy.
Minga. All right, here we are. And Veronica says, we are masters illuminating new growth and awareness. Aho, mi amor. Thank you, Sri and Kira, for your relentless service and bravery. Thank you. Thank you, sweetheart, sincerely. And Sri, I think there's more. I probably skipped. Oh, what's Dia saying? Yes, I shared Sri's beautiful presentation of the OM practice. Woohoo! You just mentioned, and it was beautifully received at Namaste Village in Mexico. Woo-hoo! Thank you, Dia. All right, and here we have so much more that's coming in right now. And let's see, Ball Debbie says, I would love to know more about the ensoulment at Dwarka. Wow, that's a powerful question.
It is.
It's interesting that's the one you picked up on, too. I don't know if Mari's listening live. If she is, jump in the chat. Or anybody else who was in Dwarka, if you're over at YouTube, start typing.
Yeah, a group of us traveled to sacred sites in India. Dwarka is...
Gujarat was incredible.
Yes.
I mean, all of Gujarat.
And I don't know that we have time to unpack that fully right now, other than to say...
Well, she saw the boat photo with you and I. Yeah.
Other than to say that each of these sacred sites is an opportunity to come into deeper alignment with a deeper level of truth. And for us, and the ensoulment and the alignment with the birth of Krishna over at Dwarka and the whole sunken city there was just amazing.
So Krishna's capital city was in Dwarka. Just for clarification, he was not born there.
Correct.
And also to share that what Sri is not sharing, but I think is what you were really asking, is that all I remember is passing out in the temple. If anybody's there, in the chat, they can talk about it. It's its own show. But when I came to, my husband was holding me. There were priests throwing flowers all over me. My feet are still tingling. And Mari, who is going to be with us in Mexico, was actually, I wasn't coming back. That was a moment where it would have been very lovely to just stay where I was. And I remembered Mari kind of pulling me as Sri got me. I came back because Sri holds my soul, and he was helping me a lot, but he needed help too because he was having his own big experience. And so as we were walking through the throngs, remember the throngs of the streets of Dwarka, and everyone is like wanting to touch me, which is I was incapable of that. What I remember is Mari walking backwards, standing in front of me, and it was like a tunnel of light. That got us to the boat. And so that picture, I think I don't know when that picture was taken, but I think I was told that that was right after they got us onto the boat,
Yeah, we had to
after we
walk
had
from the
just
temple to
come
the
from the
Mhm.
temple to the dock.
Yeah.
So I think that's what she wanted to. I think, if I was wrong, Belle Debbie, forgive me for taking up the time.
No worries, because truly it's all divine. And one of the wonderful things that I get to witness and participate in is my beloved Kira's willingness to keep surrendering more, to keep going further, and to receive the blessings, the inspiration, and the alignment that comes from true surrender to spirit.
Authenticity, naked authenticity, actually is quite amazingly creative and abundant. And beloved angels, please make a note, be here next week when we are going to introduce the world to our beloved Darwin from the top of Ecuador at the Colombian border, from the Amazon, along with Chief Phil will be with us. We'll see you from Mexico on the 18th at the start of World Unity Week. Tomorrow night, ShriandKira.com, Be It Monday Magic.
Yep.
There's a lot. We didn't get to the pyramid today. We've got a lot more to share about the pyramid. We'll first reveal it tomorrow at Monday Magic. Let's let that Minga continue, because that's where the Minga gets really amazing too.
Monday Magic is truly magical because we go deep and we track with the community in ever more profound ways. So beloved ones, we are so delighted that you have said yes, that you've given your sacred attention to this, and breathe and allow yourselves to settle into that intersection of perfect balance, the heart of peace that expands love. We love you.
See you next week or tomorrow night, ShriandKira.com. Thank you for joining us at Shri and Kira Live. To have your questions answered, send us an email to guest@ShriandKiraRadio.com and check out more information at ShriandKira.com. See you next week. Namaste.